Hi, I'm Randy. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This YouTube channel is dedicated to the construction and development of the Lake Erie and North Shore Railroad. And welcome to episode 2. We're going to talk about benchwork and fascia construction and take you through the whole process of putting up the fascia and understanding how to attach it to the benchwork and how to use the MDF board and bend it and that kind of stuff. So I don't know about you, but I think I need some railroad soul.
From the mountains across the prairies to the sea. Shared their lives, their hearts, and their pride. They have really sorrow. They have really sorrow. They have really sorrow.
Okay, so I'm going to take you through the structure of the benchwork. So the benchwork is 1/2-inch plywood, okay, mounted on 2x4s and screwed down with about just a normal sort of drywall screw. The other thing I wanted to take you through with the fascia is how to bend the MDF board. So the first thing is, this is a standard piece MDF board. Okay, so we want to put so you'll notice there's a shiny side and then there's a rough side, and we want to put the shiny side out so it can bend both ways, so it can bend out towards us or in away from us. So I'm just gonna illustrate here how to do this. Okay, so with this board here I've bent already. Okay, I don't know if I can get a good enough view of this camera where it is. Let me just back this camera up a little bit. Okay, so you can see this board is bent. Okay, now how I bent that board, let me just give you an example here. So it has got a pretty good bend in it, probably similar to the bend that's here. Pretty close to the bend that's here. And how do you do that? Well, what you do is you use this wonderful stuff called Windex. Yep, same stuff that you use to clean your windows. There you go. Windex. Okay, now what you do is you put that Windex into a spray bottle. Just important point here. The Windex has to be the one that contains ammonia. See right here, ammonia. It has to be the one that contains ammonia. The original recipe of the Windex is the only one that contains the ammonia, the rest don't. I think it's the ammonia that reacts with the MDF board and allows it to bend. So what you do is you decide where you want your bend, you mark where you want your bend, and then you get a spray bottle with the Windex and you spray the back, and you keep spraying until it's really, really wet. Okay, and then you just leave it for about 10 minutes, and then you come back and you start your bend. Okay, so a couple ways you can do it. You can put one end in one corner, one end in the other, start to bend it, hold it. You can put it on where you want it to go and clamp it. So you clamp here, then you start your bend, and then you clamp there, you leave it for a few minutes, take it off, put the Windex back on the back again, put it back, bend it, and shape it to the curve you want. Now you have to watch, okay, because you don't want to bend it so fast or so much that you start seeing little cracks appearing in here. If you start seeing little cracks appearing in here, you screwed it. Okay, you got to go back and get another piece, because that means these little fibers inside here have broken, and it'll just cave in on you, and it won't work the way you want it to. Now, once you get this mounted, and when I was mounting this, I just used these screws here, okay, which are just normal screws, just thick enough to go through. You give a good hold on this. So I screw it in, and then once it's all the way I want it, I would go back, take one screw at a time, countersink the screw, put my filler over top, sand it, and then paint it. Okay, so that's kind of how it came out. I'm pretty happy with the result. Now I'm going to show you, it's going to be a little rough here while I take this out. I'm just going to stop this. Okay, now I'm going to show you a few tips. So this is how I mounted the fascia. So I just used this decking wood, which is very economical and very tough wood, but it's easy to work with. It drills good, it cuts well. Okay, and then, sorry about my hand. And then I'm just gonna flip this over so you can see. And then all the way along, I just put that out from the actual board, and then hooked the MDF to it here. Okay, now I also glued, so where the actual wood touches the MDF, I put a line of glue down there also. Now you can see this is pretty steady. I'm pulling on this pretty good. Back here, notice I've got the trim on all the way around, which is going to hold the fascia, which I'm going to be putting on next. So once I have the fascia on, I'll update you again and have a look at it. Finished the fascia. This is the rough fascia. This all has to be sanded and all the screws sunk. Painted. You can see how the fascia is sitting. Carpenter work gone into making curves. Fascia goes around. Some nice curvatures. And then you'll see as we go down to the end. Come back. Try to give you some end-to-end views here. Of course, we have a break in the fascia here. There's going to be a leak in the trestle. I was going to put Marianne in the video, but I don't think she'd want me to. Okay, that's it for this one. Catch you again. Now, another tip is when you come across areas where you're going to have where you're going to have a seam like this. What I did was I actually put a little piece on the back and then glued this and clamped it, and that holds these seams tight so that they don't pull loose from each other. Okay. I'll just take you around slowly, show you all the fascia. Now, what is going to happen here is I brought the fascia up a little bit higher than the board, than the track bed, because I'm going to put scenery up to meet this fascia. And as I build the scenery, I'm going to cut it to match the fascia here. Okay? Now, I'm just going to continue around here. Now also remember, when you are curving this MDF, you need space to do it in. You have to account for that space. You can't have sharp corners. So here you see I had a sharp corner here on the side. And so what we have to do is build it out. So I have to go back a little ways and start building it out. So when it hits this corner, okay, it can make it around. And I put a piece of flat wood in there just so that this round part wouldn't touch on that sharp corner and snap based on the sharp corner. So I put in this piece of flat wood. Here you can see that I had to build out quite a distance from the old layout board to get that to get around that corner. Here I've cut out the fascia because this is going to be a scene. It's going to be a lake here with potentially a river coming down here. Now you see here where the escarpment is going to be. My fascia is built up quite high, and I just use this same wood to build the frame and hook the fascia to it. Okay, and then I like to have curves. I like to have curves in my fascia, so that's what I did. You can see here we got some nice curving areas. Curves around. And here you can see it's built out. 2x4s. And then I've cut this. This is my chair under, wheel under, whatever you want to call it. It's not a duck under. It's a chair under. I sit in the chair and I go under there. Okay. So that's how the fascia came out. I'm quite pleased with it. Very pleased, actually. I actually like it. Now it's just a matter of, again, matching the scenery to the fascia here. Now this is all going to be the top of the escarpment, so there's going to be lots of bricks or not bricks, but granite and rocks and stuff like that here. So mountainous type territory. So I'm pretty sure I can get this to match pretty good. Now I'm trying to think if there's anything else about this fascia. I think that's covering it all. Just when you're bending the stuff, just remember, clamp it, bend it a little bit, clamp it, bend it a little bit. Don't try to do it all at once. And make sure if you start to see little cracks in here, you got to stop and replace that piece, because it's just going to snap on you in the future. Okay, excellent. So I'll see you next episode when we talk about putting up the backdrop. Thanks for watching. Stay safe.